You know, every single time you pick up a product, whether it's off a supermarket shelf or from behind a pharmacy counter, you're holding something that's governed by a set of invisible, really high-stakes rules. We're talking about the packaging. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden system that keeps it safe, accurate, and trustworthy. All right, so to really get this, we're going to start with what happens when those rules, well, when they break, because the consequences aren't just messy, they can be incredibly expensive and, honestly, pretty dangerous.
So let me just ask you this straight up. What happens when the label on your food, or maybe your medicine, is flat out wrong? What if the ingredients listed just aren't what's actually inside? It's not just a typo, right? It's a fundamental breakdown of a system we all depend on.
And look, this isn't some made-up scenario. These are real-world failures. In the UK, a dip had to be pulled from shelves everywhere because of wrong dates and, more importantly, undeclared fish, a huge allergen. Over in the US, a brand of tortellini got recalled for misbranding that led to the exact same problem, undeclared allergens. The pattern here is crystal clear. Tiny mistakes on a file can snowball into massive, expensive recalls that put people's health on the line.
Think of it this way. It's pretty much the real-world version of accidentally sending the wrong email attachment. We've all done something like that, right? But in this world, that simple slip-up has million-dollar consequences when that file controls the label on thousands and thousands of products. The stakes are just so much higher.
Okay, so that's the chaos. How on earth do brands stop this from happening? Well, they use a system, a formal blueprint for control that brings some serious order to the whole process. Let's take a look at how that actually works.
The solution is this concept called artwork governance. It sounds a little formal, I know, but the core idea is pretty straightforward. It's a system for controlling all the packaging artwork. And the key is to treat every single digital file not just as a picture, but as a critical component that has its own unique identity, its own history, and a very clear status.
And to make that work, every piece of artwork gets treated as what's called a configuration item or a CI. The best way to think of it is like a part in a jet engine. It has a unique serial number, right? And it's managed under super strict change control. You can't just swap it out on a whim. That kind of discipline is exactly what prevents those catastrophic mix-ups.
This whole system is actually built on a global standard, ISO 10007, and it really just comes down to 4 common-sense pillars. First, identification. Every single file gets a unique ID, no exceptions. Second, baselines. You lock in an approved version, making it the official master copy. Third, change control. Any changes, and I mean any changes, have to be formally tracked and approved. And finally, status accounting. You always know, at a glance, the exact state of a file. Is it a draft? Is it approved for use? Or is it obsolete and shouldn't be touched?
So that blueprint gives us the what. But how is it all actually enforced in the real world? You know, in the digital trenches. Let's look at the specific digital tools and standards that make it all happen.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you have the risky way, a quick, looks good to me in an email. It's super easy to fake, it can get lost in an inbox, and it has zero real authority. But on the other side, you have the trustworthy method. This is the stuff that follows regulations like the FDA's 21 CFR Part 11. Here, every single approval is locked to a unique person, creating this tamper-proof audit trail with a computer-generated timestamp. It even captures the meaning behind the signature, like, yes, I approve this specific version for print.
And the final file itself has to follow this super strict anatomy, making sure that it can be understood perfectly by any printer anywhere on the planet. It's always a specific format, like a PDF/X4. It has separate, clearly named layers for things like the cutting die line, any special varnish, even Braille, all following another ISO standard. The barcode is digitally there and already verified. The file is literally built from the ground up for trust and reliability.
But, you know, this control doesn't just stop with the digital file. It extends all the way to the factory floor. This quote here highlights an absolutely critical rule. As soon as a label becomes obsolete, it has to be completely removed from the production line. You have to physically destroy or quarantine the old labels to make it impossible for the wrong one to accidentally end up on a new product. Okay, so we've just gone through standards and file formats and factory rules. Let's try it all back together and really talk about why this whole invisible system is so crucial in our everyday lives. Let's circle all the way back to that problem we started with. This chart lays it out perfectly. The most common reasons for packaging recalls: number 1, undeclared allergens, and right behind it, misbranding, or just using the wrong label. These are the exact issues that a strong governance system is designed to prevent. This system directly attacks the biggest risks.
And the need for this level of intense control is only going up. The year 2027 is set to be this huge turning point in retail. It's the start of the big switch to 2D barcodes at the checkout. Now, these new barcodes can hold way more information, which is great, but it means the link between the physical package and all its digital data has to be absolutely flawless. Governance is about to become even more important.
And it's really important to get this. We're not just talking about a good idea or a best practice. In the industries that have the biggest impact on our health and safety, we're talking pharma, medical devices, and food safety, these governance rules are mandated by law. Regulators in the US and Europe, they require these controls to be in place. It's not optional.
So if there's one simple, powerful rule to take away from all of this, let it be this one. A barcode is the crucial link between the physical product you're holding and the entire global supply chain. If it can't be read or if it points to the wrong information, the whole system just falls apart. It absolutely must be verified.
So, what's the big takeaway? That simple package in your hand, it's really the final destination of an incredibly complex and highly controlled journey. It's a whole system of rules and standards and digital checks, all designed for one single purpose: to make sure that what's on the outside perfectly matches what's on the inside. So the next time you pick something up, maybe you'll see that invisible system that's working hard to keep it and you safe.